During the Civil War, the first draft in the United States that Lincoln enacted, it was the Union draft, had an unusual provision. They needed people to fight in the Civil War. Congress passed a law that provided for a draft by lottery, locally based. But if your number were drawn and you didn't want to serve, you could hire a substitute to take your place. And people did. They put ads in newspapers saying, I will offer $800 or $1,000, sometimes $1,500, a lot of money in those days, if you will go fight in the Civil War instead of me. Andrew Carnegie, to take one notable example, hired a substitute to take his place to fight in the Civil War. So here's the question, our first question. And we can start with a show of hands. How many consider that Civil War system of conscription with the opportunity to hire a substitute, how many consider that fair and how many consider it unfair or unjust? So let's start with those who object. How many think it's an unjust system of military service? And how many don't? How many think it's fair? All right, we have an interesting division of the room. All right, here's the place. Abstentions? Edith has noticed that not everyone voted. Well, we'll see how their views evolve based on the discussion. Let's begin with those who object, who consider it unfair. What would be your objection? Who will get us started by offering a reason? Okay, Edith.
Well, people of wealth had a better chance of doing that than people who were poor. They didn't have the money to get
Here, let's get you the microphone.
I'm sorry. People of wealth had a better chance of doing that if they opted
Sure.
to because they had the money to do it. Others did not. So
Right.
that's one thing.
And why is it unfair if people who of wealth or the affluent are able to buy their way out of military service? Why is that bad, Edith?
It's bad because it separates the poor from the wealthy, and that's not what democracy is supposed to be about.
Okay, good, good. Are those, who else? Yes. And give us your name so that everyone will. Is it? All right, I heard that. I'll repeat. All right, go. Right.
Is it your civic duty to serve?
Well, and is that a rhetorical question?
No, it's the idea of being part of the overall community.
Right. And tell us who you are first.
Lawrence Rossbach.
Now, and so Lawrence, you're suggesting that this is a reason to object to the Civil War buyout system.
Right.
Because if it's everyone's civic duty to serve, it doesn't quite seem right to hire somebody else.